Oh, shit. I gotta tell you, it feels a little weird to be sitting back here in the old office, staring into a little camera, talking way too loud. What's up, guys? I've been missing you. It's been a long journey, and it is nowhere close to being over, but let me tell you a little story. After 8 straight days in the hospital, I got out yesterday, and I asked my doctor, hey, would it be okay if I do the emergency stream this week? And he said, I wouldn't do it if I was you. And I looked at the guy in the back. I said, that's not a no, is it, guy in the back? That is not a no, so we're doing it. He didn't say no. We're here. You're going to deal with it. We're going to talk PGA DFS. I'm going to give it as much energy as I have. How much that is, I don't know. I can't promise you there's no way I'm doing an hour tonight. I am going to cut off some of the stuff I normally do. Probably not do Q&A at the end, but I am going to have everything you need to know to get you ready for the players, which is an exciting time. It's an exciting time. For all of you that are wanting a health update on me, I promise you I'm going to be very open and public about this. I will tell you right now it is very serious and it is going to be a very long road, and we are nowhere out. This stream is just something I wanted to do for morale, for the community, for you guys. This is not a sign of everything is clear and good, okay? So I just want to warn you about that up front. I will keep you posted. Hopefully by next week we'll know more. But one thing that's not going to stop the big guy bringing you PGA DFS. I love doing it. I love you guys being here. So let's get the fuck going. And remember, I can't do this every week. I'm still doing all my stuff over at Ship It, but the next time that you should probably count on seeing me on a stream again will hopefully be the Masters. Who knows? Every day of life at this point is special, is not a given. So I can't promise you that I'll be here for the Masters, but I'll promise you that if I'm alive and I have a heartbeat and I can set up in front of this fucking camera, I will be here to do the Masters emergency stream, and that will be over on the Ship It station. So you got to get over to the Ship It station. Make sure you're subscribing over there, turning on the notifications. I am on Team Ship It till the very end. It is a true brotherhood over there. They have helped me through this, and we're gonna fight together. Okay. So without further ado, let's get going. Make sure you're hitting a like. I'd really appreciate it. It helps, right? I am gonna give a $100 giveaway. I'm not gonna give away a bunch of tickets because, to be honest, I don't have the energy to build all those with you. By the way, if you're somehow a new guy and you're just finding me, it's not always this macabre around here. I'm normally a pretty happy guy. My name's James, better known as the Degenerate75, and I'm a dude who's trying to help you get better at PGA DFS. I'm not going to do it picks and plays and all that nonsense. I'm going to help you with a little thing called the process. Especially tonight, we're going to be focused on the process as we're only hitting the highlights of everything you need to know to get ready to make the most informed decisions for the players tomorrow, okay? So let's shut the fuck up and let's get going. I already see 434 people in here, only 209 likes. Who would have thought? 225 dickheads. Who would have thought? Okay, let's get going. First place we always start. New guy, simple question up front. Let's get it going. Have you made your lineups yet? You have. I know every new guy's always made their lineups. You can count on the dipshits to always make their lineups, okay? New guys, you got to get it together. You can't make your lineup, so you have all this relevant, pertinent information that I'm going to provide you here. Chill out. You can make your player pool. You can listen to the content. You can get the juices flowing. But if you've already made your lineups and you're like, I am not changing no matter what, that's why you fucking suck at PGA DFS. There's a little secret for you, pal, okay? Do not get married to your picks. Do not get married to your lineups until late Wednesday night. Or if you're a true champion, be up Thursday morning and make sure Hideki hasn't withdrawn. We call that the Hideki surprise, okay? I don't know why we call it a surprise. It's only a surprise when he doesn't withdraw. All right, let's talk contest selection. The first place you're blowing money. Right here, 2 millionaire makers, which, by the way, looking at these, I'm not 100% sure that this is going to fill, right? The $25 millionaire maker, it's not going to overlay. If you don't know, an overlay is where they guarantee more money than people enter. It's not going to overlay, but there is a chance it won't fill. What that means is there'll be a reduced rate because all those extra places that are normally paying the rate for a contest won't be there. So you might get this tournament at what we would call a reduced rate. So be watching out for that. But I will tell you, all this time I've been spending in hospital rooms, I've picked up some magical powers. I don't, this is uncomfortable for me to talk about, but I need to be honest with you, and I've kind of learned how to see the future, right? And these big millionaire makers, guys sitting on the shitter right now, watching this playback, making his one lineup, being like, this is the week that I win $1 million. Watch these powers I've picked up from the hospital. No, you're fucking not. There you go. I can see the future. Who would have ever known that this is a side effect of hanging out in the hospital? You're not going to win, so don't fucking play in it. Go play in a good single entry. Go play in a 20 max. Go play in a 3 max. Don't play in this contest, right? If you want to just have a dream and be like, this is the week I'm going to do it. Okay. You're the same guy that buys the scratcher at 7-Eleven every week. I'm not talking to you, okay? But for all of you that are trying to make PGA DFS fun and sustainable, just stay the shit out of this contest, right? You could hit a 99.9 percentile lineup, and you'll basically quickly like double your money. You'll go, oh my God, I got $50 back on my 25 for hitting a nutted lineup, where that same lineup in another contest might have shipped a regular contest or might have got you like a third place in a contest, right? If you're trying to make this sustainable, stay the shit out of the Millionaire Makers. Bob, do it for me. If you're playing in the 333, there's 3 types of people that should play in this. Once again, I'll always tell you this. It should be pros who are going to max enter it. That's probably not you. It should be somebody who won a satellite into this. That's probably not you. And it's fucking morons, okay? If you're any of those 3, you don't need to listen to me. But if you don't fall into one of those 3, you sure as shit should not be playing in the 33. That payout structure is actually better than I thought it would be, but still not something you want to just cough $3,000 up for, okay? Looking at, you know where I'm always at, man. Like the big $5, this is such a good format, right? Only 20% to first. That's really good for a lottery, right? But still, look at this tournament, right? If you finished, imagine finishing 20th place in this tournament, right? 20th place out of 120,000 people, that would win you $750. That is the same price it takes to max enter it. So if you finish if you finish 16th in this tournament out of 120,000 people, that would be enough just to cover your entry fees. Could you imagine? So that's what I'm telling you, man. These big old lotteries, you are having to hit the absolute nutted lineup. And if you just hit pretty much the nutted lineup, there's a chance you're just going to break even, which is just crazy to me, right? I like to play in these tournaments where you get the well-balanced payout structure, and maybe you just are limited in the number of entries you can enter. Like, I always love the $100 single entry, the $200 single entry. The 254 max this week is so nutted, it's laughable. And I get it. Not all of you are playing that kind of volume, and you don't have that. But no matter what volume you're playing at, my baby, the $10 18 max, this $6 tee to green, the $12 single entry, the $15 single entry, the $15 flop shot. There's so many better, reasonable tournaments. Play in tournaments with less than 5,000 people. Shit, preferably less than 2,000 people, and you will find yourself having so much more fun, having your sweats last longer, and honestly, that's what it should be about, is having fun, having sweats, and having some sustainability with your game, okay? So there you go. That is a quick rundown. There endless amounts of contests. I really implore you, please listen to me. Save some money for Showdown this week, okay? Yes, I will not be doing the Showdown Hoedown this week. I can assure you of that, but what I can tell you is the edge at Showdown is real, and there's going to be amazing contests. Never forget that the last year at the Players, me and Cody Berry won $25,000 on Sunday. The only time I've ever won at the fucking Players. The Showdown contests are so great for the Players that you're going to want to save some of that money for Showdown. Plus, there can be a real edge just playing the weather. There can be a real edge just fading donkey choke on Sunday. So I'm telling you, this is a great course. And the reason I love TPC Sawgrass so much is it's one of the few courses out there when a guy shoots -8, you're like, okay, that's normal. And when a guy shoots +8, you're like, okay, that's normal, right? You don't get a lot of courses like that on the PGA Tour where a +8 and a -8 are on the table for every single round. And I love that. All right, that's contest selection. Also, I just want to remind you, for all of you that think that I'm always shitting on the lotteries, look, here it is, cumulative, over 10. This is over 10 tournaments we've tracked now. You want to go play in the big one? Literally, only one group has a positive ROI so far this year cumulatively. It's the group that enters 6 to 20 lineups, and it's basically just because that's not a whole lot of people, and they've managed to have 2 winners, right? And even within that group, 93% of them are losing per week, right? So that just shows you, when you go play in the lottery, the best you should expect is about a 1 in 10 chance of even breaking even. Okay? Whereas if you would go get in better structured contests, that number starts to become 20, 25%, stuff like that, right? So just keep that in mind. When you're playing in these big, huge tournaments like this, the ROI is negative almost no matter what group you're in, okay? You are playing for a big spike or not, okay? So if you're basing your success on, I never win at the lottery, bro, nobody ever wins at the lottery. You never win at the lottery until you do. And until you wrap your mind around that, until you have your bankroll around it, don't even consider the big lottery. And if you don't know what I mean when I say lotteries, I'm talking about that big $5 contest and the big $25 contest. New guy, second question. Here it comes. What's the first thing we always check at PGA DFS? That's right, new guy. All right, I guess it's March. The new guys are a little less slapdick this time of year. We're going to check the weather, okay? And you need to know up front, big guy's not a poor. I get out there. I spend the money, the $18.99 a year to give you guys the fancy projections. And, of course, we will be looking at projections, which are the best for 24 hours out, okay? Let me hit refresh real quick. We're down here, it's just southeast of Jacksonville down here. TPC Sawgrass. Boom, right there. A lot of water. I can already see my ball in the middle of the water. Not great, bub. Here you go. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Tomorrow looks pretty lovely. You can see right here, it is going to be kind of cool in the morning, but it only gets up to about 67 degrees tomorrow. So I think you're going to see, even though the sun's going to be out tomorrow, I think you're going to see the course bake out a little bit less. Two things you need to remember. One, that rain that people were thinking we were going to see earlier in the week, it never came to fruition. There has not been much rain in the area, so that makes the course going to be dried out. The other thing you need to know is this course has those fucking blowing things under it, and they can bake this course out in an hour if they turn on their machines, right? They get the shit underneath the greens. Hell, I think they even have it on the fairways, and so they can change this course to make it the conditions they want. So just looking. Thursday, they are going to get after this course. Those guys Thursday morning, some donkey dick that you're fading is going to be -5 through 8 holes. And you're like, I hate this. It's already over, bro. Everybody's going to get this course Thursday. Just let them get it. I will tell you, the guys Thursday morning will probably get it better than the guys Thursday afternoon, just because we know once you get to Florida, you want to be playing in the softer morning conditions. We saw that last week. We've seen it 2 weeks in a row. You're going to continue to see it this week. But you got to remember, we are talking about week long here, and so you got to consider both days, right? If we were just looking at day one, I'd say just play morning, guys, right? Wind's going to be a little lower, and the conditions are going to be a little bit softer. But when you go look at Friday, it gets a little bit more hairy, When you look at that, we'll switch over to NAM. It's better for the 24 to 48 hours out. You can see, once again, the morning looks quite nice. A little bit warmer on Friday, it would appear. And you can see those winds pick up a little bit more on Friday afternoon. Let's see if H having it pick up too. So you can see Friday afternoon, we are expecting some winds. So here's what I would tell you. The best conditions they're probably going to see for the first 2 days is going to be Thursday a.m. So you're like, all right, that's what I want. I want Thursday a.m., guys. But I will also tell you, I think the toughest conditions you will see in those first 2 days will be Friday afternoon, which is the 2 times that you would flip. Thursday a.m. is going to be the Friday p.m. So then you say, well, when's going to be the medium conditions? Well, I think Thursday afternoon will be pretty solid conditions, and I think Friday morning will be pretty solid conditions. Those two would go together too. So it's basically this. Would you rather have the most nutted conditions and the most toughest conditions together, or 2 pretty good conditions together? Only you will know this. But I want to make 2 points that you should consider when it comes to weather, okay? 2 really important points that you're going to want to consider. 1, if you play AM, PM, guys, especially cheap guys, right? Let's just use whatever $5,000 slap dick you have out there, right? You needed him to get in there so you could fit Scotty Scheffler in your lineup and be different, okay? Well, do you really want that guy out there grinding Friday afternoon on a dry, crusty course with chewed up greens with 15 to 20 mile an hour gusts playing on the 17th hole with the nerves on the cut line? Do you really want that from your $5,600 guy? Because I don't. I really, really don't, right? So I think one thing to consider is, do you really want to play low-end punts? Those are those cheap guys that are more risky, right? Do you really want to play those guys when they have to go out there in what will probably be a slightly baked out, certainly gusty Friday afternoon when there is water all over this course? I know that I don't, right? I will tell you with the studs, I don't think it matters. I think that the studs could come from either way. I have heard some incredible statistic that the winners came from the AM PM, like a ridiculous amount. I don't know what that's about, but it is a crazy stat that I've heard. The other thing I want you to consider with weather is this. This is one of the few times, if not the only time in PGA DFS we ever get a chance to correlate. Say you're making 50 lineups this week, and you decide, you know what? I'm going to do 20 guys in my player pool. I think that's very reasonable. Have a player pool of 20 guys for your 50 lineups you're going to make, okay? And here's what you'll do. You'll just go make 50 lineups from those 20 guys. But here's what I would tell you to do. Why not just take those 20 guys, go look, and I bet it's probably pretty close to 10 of those guys are AM PM, 10 of those guys are PM AM, and just go make 2 little separate player pools within your pool, right? And go make 25 lineups based on these 10 guys and 25 lineups based on these 10 guys. And why do you do that? Because if we see it, like last week, there wasn't supposed to be a weather edge, ended up being over 2.5 strokes difference. And being on the right side of that wave gave you a huge correlation between all those guys. Not only were they more likely to make the cut, they were also more likely to go win the tournament, more likely to get top 10s. So just by doing that, I'm not saying don't play guys you don't like because they're on the wrong weather edge. I'm saying play all the guys you like. Go pick your player pool of guys you like, and then go separate them into 2 little different player pools, right? Consider it. You've got your PM AM player pool and your AM PM player pool. So if one side ends up getting the better draw, well, you're still playing the guys you liked. You're still playing the guys you wanted. The only thing you've done now is gave yourself correlation to everybody else in that lineup. So if one of them does well because of the weather, it's likely all of them are doing well because of the lineup. And this is the correlation that we very rarely ever get in PGA DFS. Because right now, I can't guarantee you that AM PM or PM AM is going to be better. But I will tell you this. I would bet good money there ends up being at least a half a stroke one way or the other. And if you don't think that's nothing, well, then you're just not paying attention to golf. So that's the weather. I'm telling you, you're going to want to save some money for Showdown. Don't go blow your load on all this week long. Week long, we call it kicking the nuts for a reason, because it's a fucking kick in the nuts, Bob. 640 people in here. You love to see it. 388 likes. Could use a few more. All right. By the way, for all of you that are like, man, that weather stuff, blah, 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 blah. First of all, quit talking like that, dickhead. Second of all, it matters, okay? Last week, I told you there could be a weather edge. Well, I was telling my people over on the thing because, I haven't been doing the site, but I'm still over at shit, but I just can't be on the YouTubes talking shit. It takes it out of the big guy. So here you go. For the year, you can see last week at the API, just the difference in being in the correct way. It meant all the difference, not only for winning, making the cut, having success, but when you go track it for the year, it's just getting unbelievable. You're talking like 10 to 20% difference in the positive direction if you hit the right side of a weather edge. And maybe you're one of those people that's like, oh, but you can't guess the weather. Okay, if you're one of those people, first of all, I think you're a fucking moron. Second of all, if you think that you can't read the weather, well, then just listen to what I said and go do 2 different little player pools of your AM, PM guys and your PM, AM guys, right? Just do it, right? But what happens if one of these guys would have been in this lineup and I would have won? You were never going to make that lineup anyway, so shut the fuck up, all right? There you go. Just trying to help you out, guys. I'm trying to give you some food for thought. If you don't want food for thought, go watch those other shows. They'll give you all the picks and plays you can handle, pal. All right, let's get to ownership. That's right. These are my 10 highest owned guys this week, and I am going to categorize them into one of 3 categories. Of course, we have donkey chalk, okay, which means if you play him, you're a donkey dick. We don't play donkey chalk except what guy in the back? Except when we do. That's right. Guy in the back's been fired up for this, okay? I'm feeding 4 times a week now. I shouldn't tell you guys this, but he's doing good. Guys, he's got to be up to 150 pounds by now. From there, we have chalk, which means it's like a little high. I don't like it, but like it's not a deal breaker if you really like that guy. And then we just have okay chalk, which like I don't even consider it chalk, but this industry is obsessed with the word chalk and not knowing how to properly use it. So with that, we will just call that okay chalk, right? Because I don't even think it's chalk. So let's get going. Let's go over these. Oh yeah, Jacob says, where's the F counter? A lot of stuff being stripped down tonight, Jacob. A lot of stuff being stripped down. Just be happy. There's also not going to be Q&A, all right? I give you 30 minutes is what I'm trying to get through. To think that I could get through a full hour, big guy won't make it, all right? So there you go. Hey, you will take what you will get and you will like it, pal. All right, number 1, old Scotty Scheffner coming in. Well, we'll just call that a country mile because I live here in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma, when you're that far ahead, everybody would call that a country mile. Scotty Scheffler I've got coming in over 30%. Now, I think you'll see in a minute, maybe even higher than that, right? Old Scotty Scheffner is, I found a little thing here that said that every time Scotty Scheffner plays, he's good. That was a little, the hashtag research, right? This is why you guys come here, is for that research, okay? I mean, like, it literally feels like his worst case scenario is like, what, T12? Like, oh, thank God Scotty failed this week, T12. Huh, thank God. And here's what I'll tell you. Scotty Scheffner is $12,800 would be nice, right? But $12,800 isn't even that expensive anymore with this new dynamic pricing. There are a lot of legitimate golfers down in the 5,000s this week, right? This ain't like amateurs down there, right? This ain't like the old guys at the Masters. These are legit real golfers down in the 5,000s. So if you're willing to stomach one $5,000 guy or $5,500 guy, you can easily get to Scotty Scheffner. So because of that, Scotty Scheffner is just going to be a runaway chalk this week. And when you are that far ahead of everybody else, I mean, I don't even know what to say. That is the literal definition of the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. We don't do that unless they're a god. Unless they're a god, then we consider it, okay? And I am pretty sure Scotty Scheffner is quickly going up to god status. I am pretty sure that is the trajectory he is on, okay? Look, he's just that far ahead of everybody. I get it. Look, you can still play Scotty Scheffner. I just encourage you this. Just get in there. If you're going to go in on Scotty, go in on Scotty, big boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get him in 50, 60% of your lineups. So if he does do well, at least you still have leverage on the field. That's the key to the game, right? It's not about, I don't play this guy because he has ownership. It's, how can I play this guy differently than everybody else? And I think there's 2 big ways to do that. You play him more than everybody else, meaning that you are more exposed to him than the field in general, or you play him and you don't play him with the other donkey chalk guys, right? If you're wondering, well, who's the other donkey chalk guys? Well, let me finish my segment, bro. Moving on, we've got old Siwoo Kim, former winner here, right? But he won back when it was in, May. And I'm not sure this course is the same as in May. Coming in at 17%. Siwoo Kim, the second highest owned guy on this slate. Got to tell you, Bob, didn't see that one coming. He was sneaky good last week. And when you get good Siwoo, he's just like Decky. There's good Siwoo, there's bad Siwoo. There's good Decky, there's bad Decky. And when you get good Siwoo, he real good. But there's also bad Siwoo. And that makes me never want to play a chalky Siwoo. Siwoo coming in at the second highest owned guy, 2, 3, 4 times higher owned than almost everybody in this range around him. You know what's coming here. Siwoo, you are the definition of the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. Can't do that one. You gross, Siwoo. You nasty, all right? You know I love you, Siwoo. But you know who I don't love? Colin Morflower. All right? And he is coming in. I actually was considering playing this loser piece of shit this week because I thought, hey, no one's going to play Colin Morikawa. And honestly, I swear this course just seems like they they put this course together for him, right? Like this just seems like the perfect course for his game. And what do you want to know? Well, he's going to get ownership. And if you think that I'm going to play a 17% owned Collin Morikawa when there are legitimately better golfers right above him and right below him at lower ownership, you are laughable. That man right there is what I would call
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play
and
donkey
there's nothing
chalk.
grosser than more flower donkey chalk. It's nasty, all right? Moving on from there, I think that, these next few guys, I think Hovland and Henley, they were right there on the cusp of being donkey chalk, but they're just not so far ahead of their peers that I think that they are blowing them away. So I think I'm going to pivot on them, and I'm just going to give them they're a little high, right? But if you love Hovland, you love Henley, I don't think you get off of these guys simply because of their ownership. What you do is you just don't want to start building a lineup that has Siwoo, Morikawa, Henley, right? Just don't build the same build that everybody else is building. You're going to want to have a chalk guy, maybe 2, maybe even 3 chalk guys in your lineup, but what you don't want to do is get in this habit of putting all these guys together because you end up getting in these builds where you end up 1v1s, 2v2s versus hundreds or thousands of lineups, and that is not how you give yourself a real chance to win GPPs, my brother or sister. Sorry, ladies. Moving on, Rory, Xander, Zalatoris. I think all of these guys, if you consider that chalk, you go right on ahead. But most of these guys are just simply getting any ownership because we know rule number 1 of PGA DFS. People spend their money, right? And people are going to spend their money. So I think all these guys right here, I wouldn't even call them chalk. You want to call them chalk, I'm calling them, they're okay chalk. They're more than fine. If you want to play Rory for God knows whatever reason, then I think you should be pumped to be getting his ass at under 15%. I think you should be very excited about that, right? Old Iceberg, he's kind of a little high. I'm kind of surprised. I'm not sure what that's about. I mean, I know he's a stud, but this seems like a course you'd want to have a little bit of experience at. So we're going to give Old Iceberg, we'll give him, that's a little high. But now we get to disgusting Bill, right? Old Aaron Pumpernickel. I don't care how much butter you cover him in. I don't care how many times he wears 2 gloves. The big guy don't give a shit. Aaron Rye is $6,400, and we have him coming in at 13%. Almost double any other player in the 5 or the 6K range. I had to what am I doing? It's Aaron Rye. Okay, what? Is there like a 2? Do you get like a free mulligan every round if you wear 2 gloves? What the hell are we doing here? Maybe the state of Florida is just in love with pumpernickel bread. I don't know why Aaron Rye is getting so much love. Confuses the shit out of me. But you know what doesn't confuse the shit out of me? His ownership. That man is the literal definition of
the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey
chalk. That is gross. That is as gross as actual rye bread. There you go. That is a breakdown of the 10 highest owned guys. Remember, just because you have ownership does not necessarily mean you are donkey chalk, and just because your ownership is low does not necessarily mean you're not donkey chalk. Aaron Rye, Polly, tell him.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, moving on. Let's get over to Steam versus Moonwalk. Let me set up my slideshow. Oh, fancy. All right. Look, I already gave you my projections on the 10 highest owned guys, but here's what we know. People are going to watch this show and other shows, and they're going to probably start making some adjustments to their player pool, and they are going to some guys are going to get bumped up tonight. Their ownership that we're going to see come in higher tomorrow. Some are going to come in lower. Here is my guess as to what those are. I built this on a lot of things, not only what I'm hearing from the community, not only what the projections are showing, but more than anything, I just know the psychology of DFS players, and I know how people want to build their lineups this week, and I know where people are going to land. So number 1, who's going to get steamed up? I think it's going to be old Scotty Scheffler. Hey, man, you just said him's the highest owned guy. How the hell can he get steamed up if he's already the highest owned? Well, it's simple, okay? He is going to come in, I think, at over 35%. Over 35%. When you get into single entry and high dollar stuff, I think you're going to see him over 40%, okay? People are going to realize that they would rather just pay the premium to get to Scotty Scheffler, okay? And they'll find the money elsewhere. And with this new pricing where the 5K guys are not that gross, those are legitimate PGA golfers down there at 55, 5,600. And you can easily, or just put 2 6K guys in your lineup because they're legitimate golfers too. It is so easy to get Scotty Scheffler in your lineup. People are going to go to him. He is people's warm Care Bear blanket. He makes them feel safe, and they just know, he could win. And, worst case scenario, he's going to get, 5th place. I just need Scotty in my life. I'm too scared not to play him, which I think is a terrible way to play PGA DFS, especially at a course that is as random as this course is, right? So play Scotty Scheffler if you want, but just know I truly think he is going to get steamed up even more than I am already projecting him, which is crazy because as you saw on that ownership, I already have him dramatically higher than every other player in the field. Number 2, this one's a little bit surprising. Victor Hovland at 10,100. This is a little bit of just, I know how people like to build. Victor Hovland is still perceived in this community as the third best player in PGA DFS. Scotty, Rory, Hovland. But when you go look at the pricing, guys like Xander, guys like Cantlay are now above him, and Rory is infinitely higher than him. So a lot of people are going to say, why don't I just take the price discount and get a golfer who is objectively better? Victor Hovland is an objectively better golfer than Xander and Cantlay. Maybe he's not playing as well as them, but he is a better golfer. So people are going to take that price discount, and I wouldn't even surprise me if people start with Scheffler, Hovland, and you can still build that lineup. If you just put one 5K and one 6K guy in your lineup, you can still build a lineup that you very, very much like, right? So I think Victor Hovland is just that guy who is going to help squeeze Xander, Rory, Cantlay. All those guys right there are going to get squeezed between Scotty and Hovland. Those guys are going to be what people latch onto. Hovland because he's too cheap for how good he is, and Scotty because he's just too damn good at golf, right? And so when that happens, I think you're going to see those other guys around the moonwalk. These guys are going to suck all the ownership out of that area. And lastly, old Dougie Gim. Doug Gim is just one of those guys that's lingering down there, looks good in the model. I've seen projections. I've seen him getting talked up. I think he's a guy you check in tomorrow, and he's that guy in the 6,000s like, why the hell is Doug Gim 12%? What are we doing, dude? And I just feel he's going to be that guy, right? I think he is going to be the guy that gets that weird steam tonight. He's just checking every box you would want to see, and Doug Gim is a guy that is going to check in tomorrow and will be that steam down in the 6K range that I think people are going to be like, well, shit, I wouldn't have played him if I knew he was going to be that owned. I'm warning you right now, sir. All right, if people are moving up, people got to be moving backwards. Let's talk about people who are going to be moonwalking. You've got the Rory McIlroy. As you saw, I don't even have his ownership that high, but I think he's going to come in damn near single-digit ownership again, and it's very simple. People are just not going to pay for him when they could just pay up for Scotty or pay down for Victor. He is going to get squeezed. He has been inconsistent recently. He keeps fucking up. And the little-known fact, hold on, I wrote this down, he's a fucking loser. Yeah, never forget that one, right? So Rory McIlroy is going to get squeezed. If people are going to play Scheffler and Victor, it becomes easy math that ownership has to be leaving from somewhere. I think you're going to see Rory come in even lower than people expect. He is starting to become a very appetizing pivot if you don't mind playing that loser slapdick. All right, Colin Moriflower. I just refuse to believe, okay, that Colin Moriflower is going to be the second or third highest owned guy on this slate when he's not even playing that well. I get that he is a great course fit. I get that he is fairly priced at $9,400, but this course is notorious for not having great course history. What really correlates here is good recent form. And Colin Morikawa has not been playing that good, Bob. Okay, so if he hasn't been playing that good, I don't think people are going to be dying to line up. I think you're going to be surprised that some people are not going to play Moriflower, and he's going to come in closer to that 13% range, and that ownership range in the 9,000 is going to get really smoothed out and be flatter. That's my guess. And then lastly, I just refuse to believe that this community that we have been building for the last 2 years could have so many fucking morons that you will go play a 13% owned Aaron Rai. Okay, if you do, you've been drinking too much rye, pal. All right, so Aaron Rai at 6,400, if he comes in at 13%, I would say that I would eat my hat, but honestly, I'd probably eat my hat in celebration that there's still that many dipshits out there that would play a 13% owned Aaron Rai when guys literally right next to him are 1% owned. Guys that are the exact same golfer. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, okay? So I think he's going to come in more like 8 or 9%. He will be owned. I just don't think that he's going to be that runaway donkey chalk in the 6Ks. I just can't believe there's that many morons out there. Maybe that's just me hoping. Who knows? But I can tell you this. I got a DFS tip for you real quick, and it's this. With the new dynamic pricing, the best way to be different this week is think about how you're constructing your roster. When you go look at ownership, I can tell you most rosters are going to want to be built in a certain way. It's going to come down to Scotty Scheffler. Then they're going to want to drop down and probably grab Moriflower or Siwoo or some guy in the 9Ks, and then they're going to want to finish with either Aaron Rai or Doug Gim or somebody like that in the 6Ks, right? If you like any of those guys, don't worry. Play them, right? Just ask yourself, how can you play them different? With this new dynamic pricing we have from DraftKings, what it is doing, it is really allowing people to go grab those 5 and 6K guys and then really get 3 or 4 guys up high with high win equity, right? Or what I think you'll see more often this week is I think you're going to see a Hovland Scheffler double up, right? So if you were insistent upon playing Scheffler, think, how can I play him different than everybody else, all right? I get it. If you want to play Scheffler, I get it. I really do. Play him. Don't not play Scheffler because he's higher owned. The guy's a god in 27 different religions. Just say, how can I play him? Maybe you go play him with 3 8K guys and 2 7K guys. Ain't nobody building a Scotty Scheffler with 3 8K guys and 2 7K guys. No one's building like that, right? Maybe go play Scotty Scheffler and double him up with Rory, double him up with Xander, double him up with Cantlay, somebody like that. Nobody is building like that, right? And when you do that, and then the best thing you can do is if you do want to start with Scotty and Rory, well, then don't immediately drop down and grab Rai or Gim. Go grab some other punt down there. So not only have you started different the way that you've constructed your roster, you've also paired them up with somebody different down at the bottom. Okay, I'm not telling you to go play some slap dick you don't like. Still play the guys you like. Still play the guys that you have a good feeling about. The guys that do well in your model or project well or whatever parameters you like to use. What I'm telling you is just be cognizant of how you put those pieces together. All of us have the same pieces. Who wins this week? It's not going to be about who played the right piece. It's going to be about who put the right pieces together and built the right Lego set. That will be the key to success. So when you're building your lineups this week, give real thought to, okay, I'm too scared to fade Scotty. That's fine. But how can I play Scotty and use him different than everybody else? And maybe the answer is you're just not going to play Scotty. Right there, you're already infinitely different than most of the field. So now you need to say, well, how do I not play Scotty, but then also continue to be different, right? Because if you don't play Scotty and then you go like Hovland and Morikawa and Siwoo Kim and Aaron Rai, you're still going to end up in a very popular second type build, right? So you got to be aware that even when you just fade one chalky guy, sometimes that's not enough to really differentiate your lineup. All right, looking at the model, because you know the model's like life and stuff. 700 people in here. You love to see it. Thank all of you guys for being here. I'm pushing through as well as I can. Let me get a quick drink of water. All right. Some things we're looking at this week. Proximity over 200 yards. The best thing I can tell you about this course is you are probably going to hit every club in your bag every round. That's what's so great about Sawgrass. It really does test your entire game. You're going to be hitting wedges all the way to long irons to woods, obviously drivers. You're going to be hitting every club, right? But the only distance that shows up more frequently than you would expect is the 200 plus range. Par 5 scoring, there are 4 par 5s, so you're going to have to get it done on the par 5s. You're going to want to have greens in regulation because if you're trying to chip your ass off around here and you're constantly trying to save par, your ass is grass. We looked at courses that are more than 7,200 yards or less than 7,200 yards on that par 4 scoring. Looked at that. We looked at who's good in majors because even though this isn't a major, it's a major style field, and we want to know who plays well in those tough fields, right? Looked at around the green with Bermuda. Looked at just recent approach. The thing that I have found is correlated the most to success isn't approach from a certain range. It's just general good approach. Who has had hot irons coming in? Because when you have to hit your entire bag full of wedges all the way through your long irons, I need guys who approach has been on. So I just looked at last 2 months of approach, right? That's all I looked at. Who's good at Pete Dye course? This is a famous Pete Dye course, and some guys just love a Pete Dye course. It does, it's a different type of golf. It's more strategic golf than just plot man, track man golf, okay? Who's good at Florida golf? Florida's a different kind of golf, so I want to know who's good at it. Who's good at these lightning greens? Who's good at the last 50? And who's good at Poa Trivialis? Because I'm fancy, and I know stuff about grass. Okay, I don't jerk off to it, but I got to tell you, doing my research for grass this week, I was, it's a little like, hey, Poa. So there you go. That's what we looked in the model. And just shocking, just absolutely shocking. Scotty Scheffler is number 1 on my model. How I'm able to make these models and get Scotty Scheffler number 1 should just show you that you're clearly watching a true genius in his time, that I can make a model and it shows that Scotty Scheffler is number 1. I'm a genius ahead of my time. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what you guys want me to say. So, looking at the model here, we've already went over this. You've got Scotty, you've got Hovland, and then you've got Cantlay. Oh, I kept forgetting to say Thomas, Xander, Rory, all kind of getting squeezed right here, right? Zalatoris, Decky, Wyndham Clark, Homa, Spieth, all getting squeezed. These are delicious, delectable options, right? If I told you that Will Zalatoris, Hideki, or Wyndham Clark was going to win this tournament, and that would shock you, you're a dipshit, okay? All 3 of those guys could very easily win this tournament, and I don't think not a single one of them will be over 12%. Hell, I think Decky and Clark will be in single-digit ownership, right? Spieth, here's my rule. No one wants to play Spieth. You know the big guy playing Spieth. You know what I'm saying, dog? We've already told you Iceberg and Morikawa are getting some ownership here. I suspect Sam Burns is playing well. He'll get some ownership. Shane Lowry will definitely get some ownership. Shane Lowry's not even a model guy, and he's top 5 in the model, right? He's playing well. He's really good at Florida golf. I suspect Shane Lowry, I'm glad they priced him up because if they didn't, if he were 8,100, he would legit be 20% owned. From there, really, no one's getting crazy ownership. Russell Henley will get some ownership, which kind of surprises me because I think he's way overpriced at 8,600. The fact that Russell Henley is more expensive than Tony Finau is LOL. But whatever, you go play your Russell Henley. I don't give a shit what you do. I think this is a great range right here. The low 8,000s, Connors, Fitzpatrick, and these guys, Siwoo, if he wasn't so popular. This is a really good golfers at really fair prices. These guys can be the 3rd or 4th guy in your lineup. No sweat off your ass. Moving into to there, the 7Ks are just chock full of guys that I think are really appetizing, that are not going to be too high owned. Brian Harmon actually showed a pulse last week, and this course is 50 times a better fit for him than API was last week. Tom Hoagie's approach has been on. If I told you approach is what I care about, it's hard to overlook old Cheesesteak Hoagie. JT Poston, Eric Cole, this is a great course for them. Chris Kirk, this is a great course for him. There's just so many good players in the 7Ks. Don't sleep on Alex Noren, all kinds of guys, right? Let's see. Sorry, I'm unclicking some guys that we did. Let's see. Just trying to remember who I wanted to unclick because it doesn't matter what those are. EVR is interesting. Already told you about, Cam Davis. Let's see. Who are some other ones? We already talked about Aaron Rye, just going to be crazy donkey chalk. We already talked about, who was the other one? Oh, yeah, and Douglas Gimathan, right? Are going to be probably the two really high-owned guys down here. I think Mark Hubbard could get a little bit of ownership. Adam Schenk, Taylor Moore. I mean, it's just so easy. Like, these are legitimate golfers. Like, Bobby Mack at 5,600. Bobby Mack ain't scared of a full field event, right? Bobby Mack can play real golf against the big boys, right? So if you find these guys down here in the 5Ks you like, that could be the key to playing them, right? To playing Scotty Scheffler, but playing him different, right? If you go start Scotty Scheffler and then like and then for whatever reason, Taylor Montgomery and Bobby Mack, you have a lot of freedom to do whatever the fuck you want with the rest of that lineup. So once again, I will tell you, it is about how you construct your roster this week. We're all using the same Lego pieces. Make your Lego set better than everybody else's. That is the key to success this week. But let's go ahead and start wrapping this show up as this. Who is the one guy I'm definitely not playing? Well, it's pretty simple. First of all, with no rain this week, I don't even think that wearing 2 gloves is a big advantage. Second of all, a guy in the 6Ks and double-digit ownership, I will die on this hill that I will never fucking play that. I will never play that. So with that in mind, I think it's pretty clear. The one guy I'm definitely not playing this week is old Aaron Rye. Get the fuck out of here. Tell him, Paulie.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Get out of here with it. But the more important question, I will warn you that we were planning on doing this stream, so this was made rather hastily, okay? If you come here for the Hollywood productions, you better tame down your expectations this week, you motherfather. So this week, the one guy I'm playing, a guy who is notorious for fucking me over. A guy that every time I'm playing, I never get him right. But then I had this epiphany. I said, hey, DJ. Yeah, it's weird. I refer to myself in the third person like that. And I said, hey, this tournament always fucks you over. There's been no tournament in the history of PGA DFS I have lost more money on than the players. Now, probably not true anymore after me and Cody had the big hit last year, right? We're probably getting close back to even now, right? So, this tournament always screws me over. This golfer always turns me over. And I'm watching this really good feel-good movie the other day about this nice little clown that lives down in the gutter, and I realized that there was the answer the whole time. It was right there in front of me. If this golfer always screws me, this course always screws me, what if I play them together and they cancel out? Maybe they'll unmush each other. Plus, I just love a good heartwarming show, movie, and it reminds me of my childhood where I'm just a happy kid playing with my boat, right? Just playing out in the rain in my boat, enjoying a nice day until maybe I just run in to the wrong guy. Let's see what we got. Oh shit, I've seen this movie. This is it. Just playing with my boat. Just a little kid down in Florida playing with my boat, having fun, enjoying the day. No. Damn boat goes in the gutter. Not good. I need my boat, okay? That is all my hopes and dreams. Oh, golly. Hey, I recognize those eyes.
Hiya, Georgie.
My name is... Hey, it's Degenerate, not Georgie. I don't trust this. Look at that. I recognize those eyes. Those 2 eyes looking out to the side. I got a bad feeling. Oh, shit. Tambo, help me. Help, Tambo. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's what the players does to me every year. Every year this motherfucker tournament does this to me. Oh, no. Here comes the golfer to finish me off. I keep playing him every year, and he always does this to me. He's going to do it again. He's going to make DJ disappear. You don't fuck with Coco the Clown. Corey Connors is the one guy who was perfectly designed to beat this course. He is the one guy that owns me the most money, and he is the one guy that is set to undo the mush that not only he keeps me under, but this fucking course keeps me under. The one guy we're playing Coco the Clown, you motherfather. Yeah! All right, there we go. Pretty good. That was pretty good for no prep. I literally just won, just that was freestyle, that whole thing. I did no prep. I've been sitting around dying all day. Coco the Clown, come on. I want y'all to just sit there tonight. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's get to the drawing. But guys, you got to remember, I'm still over at Ship It. Ship It is part of me. So many people have reached out to me, sending me kind words, prayers, thoughts, energy. I appreciate every single one of you. Please don't stop. We're going to continue needing it to go forward. And so many people say, hey, do you have a GoFundMe so I can help? Guys, I'm not not going to ask for your money. I don't do that shit. If you want to support me, you continue to support my content. You do that through Ship It Nation. If you're a member over there, continue to stay a member. I'm still over there doing my projections, doing my ownership, doing my Rosetta Stone. I'm still doing all the stuff behind the scenes. I just am not here in front of the camera. Being over there is how you support me. That is still where I'm an owner and I'm a partner, and that is where I make my paycheck from, and that is what is paying for this endless amount of bills. Okay. Now, if you don't want to be a member, well, then just keep hitting the like, and that's good enough. Send me prayers. That's good enough. All right. But I refuse for you to send me a GoFundMe. Okay. I'm not poor. All right. Go sign up. We have everything you need. NFL, NBA, the best PGA team you could ever want. Me, Tambo, Hoop, everybody. But we have MMA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, college football is coming. None of it's changing. The big guy being sick, it don't matter. We don't stop. And you know the big guy ain't a bitch, right? Yes, we still have my Rosetta Stone. It is over there every week for you to use. Yes, we have it for week long. We have it for round 2, round 3, and round 4 showdown. Still loading all of my ownership, all of my projections into the solver. We still have them over on the website. And look at this. If you sign up right now for a month, okay, I would get the annual, but if you get the month and you use that code right there, Masters15, that month will get you all the way through the Masters, and you will get not only the players this week with all of our stuff, then you will also get all of the stuff for the Masters and everything in between for just a ridiculous rate. Just go compare our price. Just go look at our price. I don't even fucking care about other sites. Forget other sites. Just go look at how fair our price is when you consider all the tools and the content you're getting over our site. I will die on this hill. Ship It Nation is where it's at. Use that code Masters15 on any package and get signed up. I highly encourage you to do that. Let's get to this drawing. This is to build a $100 single entry with me. I'm going to do it up here. I'm also going to do a backup in case I don't recognize the winner so that we can do a $100 thing. Ticket tomorrow, okay? Joe Whalen, Maine. There you go. I don't recognize that guy's name. So if he doesn't reach out to me by 10 o'clock, Lord's time zone, then here is the backup to get that $100 ticket, okay? A backup for a $100 ticket with me, and it is Chris Ebop. I do know he will reach out to me, okay? So what I want to tell you guys is, first of all, thank you for all these super chats. I've seen them popping up. Jay Steele, thank you. Could be Travis. David, my man. Nick, I saw there was even more than that, guys, but they've timed out. I saw the editor. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for these super chats. Thank you for continuing to support me. I will try my best to be back for the Masters. I will try my best to be back for every show I can do. I've got a long, long road ahead of me. I will fight till the end. I will tell you guys that I will be around when I can. I will keep you updated as much as I can. And just know one thing, the big guy ain't no bitch. He ain't scared of no fight. And here's what I'll tell you. Let's just be thankful for another day of life. And today, that alone is worth a victory lap.
I'm so high.